My husband's friend called me while my husband was sleeping and said, "Call me after your husband leaves for the office. I will tell you a secret that once you hear it will make you divorce your husband." But I told him, "How can I trust you?" He said, "Trust me or you will face great loss." When I called him after my husband left for the office, my hands were shaking and my heart was racing faster than ever before. I didn't know what to expect, but something told me that this call would change everything. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice low, almost a whisper that sent chills down my spine. "Yes," I said, though my voice quivered. "Tell me." There was a pause, a heavy silence that made the seconds feel like hours. And then he began, each word deliberate, heavy with a weight I could feel in my chest. "Your husband, he's not the man you think he is. He's been lying to you for years. And what I am about to tell you, it will break you unless you act wisely." I felt my world tilt. Could this be true? The man I had loved, trusted, even given everything to, could he really be capable of such betrayal? My mind screamed to hang up, to pretend I had never heard this, but my curiosity, my fear, my sense of justice, they all forced me to listen. He told me about secret meetings, hidden messages, lies that were so elaborate I couldn't believe one person could live two lives at the same time. Every detail he shared was a dagger to my heart. My stomach churned, my hands trembled, but deep inside, something else awakened, a fire, a determination not to be the victim of this betrayal. After the call ended, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor, my mind racing. I had to be smart. I couldn't confront my husband blindly. I needed proof, I needed leverage. And most of all, I needed a plan that would let me take control of this situation before it destroyed me completely. Over the next few days, I acted normal. I smiled, laughed, made small talk, all while secretly watching him, reading his messages, checking for hidden signs. I became a silent observer, gathering evidence piece by piece. Every text, every missed call, every secret he thought I would never find, each one added fuel to the fire that now burned inside me. I discovered things that no wife should ever have to know, things that would make anyone's heart shatter. But with each discovery, my anger grew along with my resolve. I was no longer a woman deceived. I was a woman preparing for a reckoning. And I knew I had to be patient. I couldn't rush it. I had to plan carefully, like a chess game where every move mattered. One wrong step and I would lose everything. But if I played it right, if I played it perfectly, I could make him regret every lie, every betrayal, every careless word that had made me feel small and powerless. The night was long, but I stayed awake, reviewing every piece of information I had gathered. Pictures, messages, receipts, recordings, every one a weapon I could use. I realized that love had blinded me, but now clarity had returned. I had the power and I would use it. The next morning, as he left for the office, I felt a strange calm. I had everything I needed. My plan was forming, each step more precise than the last. I wasn't going to scream, I wasn't going to cry, and I certainly wasn't going to beg. I was going to act, and when he realized the depth of his betrayal, it would be too late for him. I sent a short message to his friend, "Thank you, I'm ready." And just like that, the countdown had begun. My life was no longer about love or trust. It was about power, revenge, and reclaiming what he thought he could take from me. I was no longer a victim. I was a storm waiting to break, and when it hit, nothing would remain the same. When I called him again that afternoon, my hands still trembled, but my voice was steadier now. I had to hear everything, and I had to see proof. His friend didn't disappoint. He sent me pictures, messages, and even recordings that made my blood run cold. My husband, the man I had loved, my partner, the one I had trusted with my life, was living a double life. He was seeing someone else, someone I had never met, but it wasn't just a fling. It was calculated, planned, deliberate. He had lied about work, about late nights at the office, about meetings and errands. Every excuse had been a mask for betrayal, and the realization hit me harder than anything I had ever felt. I couldn't cry, not yet. The tears would come, but I needed control first. I needed a plan. Revenge was no longer just a thought. It had become a living, breathing purpose inside me. I would not let him walk away unscathed. Not this time. I started watching him more carefully. I tracked his schedule, noticed the patterns, the little things he thought I would never notice. His phone, his messages, the way he avoided my gaze, all of it became pieces of a puzzle I was determined to solve. Every lie he had told was now a thread I could pull, and I would unravel him completely. One evening, as he came home, I acted as if nothing had changed. I smiled, made him dinner, laughed at his jokes. But inside, my mind was plotting. I was preparing the moment that would expose him to the world, the moment he would realize that betrayal had consequences. I began secretly copying messages and saving pictures, storing everything in a folder I had hidden on my laptop. I even recorded a few of his phone calls, capturing the truth of his lies in a way he could never deny. Every time I looked at the evidence, my anger flared, but so did a cold clarity. I was no longer the woman who had trusted blindly. I was a woman who had been betrayed and was ready to take everything back. Then one afternoon I received a text from his friend, "Are you ready to act?" I stared at the screen for a moment, my heart pounding. I knew what he meant. It was time. Time to make him see, time to make him understand, time to show him the pain he had caused me. I replied simply, "Yes." That night I didn't sleep. I stayed up planning every detail. How would I confront him? How would I make sure he could not escape? I wanted the world to see the truth, to know what kind of man he really was. But I also wanted him to feel the weight of his actions, to understand that betrayal is never without consequence. The next day I started carefully dropping hints, small comments, subtle questions about his late nights and work meetings. He brushed them off, confident that I would never discover the truth. But inside I was ready. Every reaction he had, every nervous glance, every small lie he told was being carefully documented. I could see him starting to sense that something was wrong. His confident smile sometimes faltered, his eyes occasionally darted to my phone, as if he feared I had already discovered everything. And in those moments I felt a surge of power. I was no longer afraid. I was in control, and the storm I had been building inside was about to break. Finally the day came, the day I would act. I had everything I needed, every piece of evidence, every proof of his lies, every recording of his betrayal. I could confront him quietly, carefully, or I could expose him publicly, make the world witness his deception. And I knew exactly what I wanted. The humiliation and the heartbreak he had caused me would return tenfold. As he walked into the house that evening, tired from his work, I smiled. A cold, calculated smile that he would never forget. I led him to the living room, casually asking him about his day, acting normal. But the moment was coming. The moment he would realize that trust is not given freely, and betrayal never goes unnoticed. And when it hit him, when the truth landed like a hammer on his world, I would be standing there unbroken, powerful and free. The day had come. I could feel it in my bones, a mix of anger, anticipation and clarity that gave me a strange power. My husband walked through the door, tired and unsuspecting, still thinking I had no idea. But I had everything. Every lie, every secret, every betrayal was now in my hands, ready to be unleashed. I asked him to sit down, my voice calm, almost too calm. "We need to talk," I said. He looked at me, puzzled, a slight smile still lingering, as if he could charm his way out of anything. But this time, charm would not save him. I opened my laptop and placed it on the table between us. The folder I had hidden so carefully was now open, every picture, every message, every recording ready to show him the truth. I leaned back, watching him slowly realize something was wrong. What is this?" he asked, his voice shaky now, the confidence draining from his face. "This," I said softly, "is the truth. Every lie you've told, every secret you've kept from me, every betrayal you thought I would never find out, it's all here." He tried to laugh it off at first, but the fear in his eyes betrayed him. I started showing him the evidence one by one, the messages, the calls, the pictures. His face changed with every revelation, from disbelief to panic, to anger to shame. "You, how, when?" he stammered, unable to form a proper sentence. I watched, I waited, I collected everything, I said. "I trusted you once, that was my mistake, but I am not a fool anymore." He tried to interrupt, to explain, to justify, but I didn't let him. I had imagined this moment for so long, rehearsed every word, every step. And now that it was happening, I felt more alive than ever. I realized that betrayal is a powerful teacher, and revenge is a form of justice that heals the soul. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I let him see the depth of his mistakes through the cold, unshakable proof. He sank into the couch, defeated, staring at the evidence of his own lies. The man who had once controlled my world, who had made me feel small, powerless and afraid, was now powerless himself. "I trusted you," I said quietly, my voice steady. "And you destroyed that trust. I loved you, I gave you everything. But now I am taking back my life." His face turned pale, he couldn't meet my eyes. "Please don't do this," he whispered. But it was too late. I had already made my decision. Divorce papers were ready, filed and waiting. I had secured my future, protected myself from any further harm. I wasn't just leaving him, I was reclaiming every ounce of dignity, every shred of respect he had tried to strip away. I could feel the storm inside me finally settle, replaced by a calm, fierce clarity. Betrayal had broken me, yes, but it had also forged me into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone unstoppable. "Your lies are over," I said, "and I will never let anyone treat me like this again." He nodded silently, defeated, knowing that his actions had consequences he could no longer avoid. I stood up, collected my things, and walked out. For the first time in months, I felt free. The weight of his betrayal was still there, but it no longer controlled me. I had turned pain into power, heartbreak into strength, and betrayal into justice. As I closed the door behind me, I felt the fire inside me settle into a steady glow. I had survived, I had conquered, and I knew one thing for certain: no one, not even the person I once loved the most, could ever take my life, my dignity, or my peace away again. The storm had passed, but I had emerged stronger, and as I walked into the future, I carried only one thought: betrayal may hurt, but revenge heals, and freedom tastes sweeter than any love ever could.